Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Horror Trans. My name is Stephanie Bree. I am a transgender woman, and I talk about all things horror. Today's horror icon video is not going to be a filmmaker, but it's going to be a study of a iconic horror villain. And this we're starting with Michael Myers. If you have already watched my Halloween reviews, which most likely you haven't because I check out the analytics. If you haven't, go back and watch them, please. If you have, or you follow me on Twitter, you know I'm not the biggest fan of the Halloween franchise. Even I cannot deny the impact Michael Myers has had on horror. We wouldn't have Jason if Michael Myers hadn't been successful. We wouldn't have Freddy Krueger if Michael Myers hadn't been successful. We wouldn't have Pinhead if Michael Myers hadn't been successful, so on and so forth. So, to recap briefly, very briefly, the Halloween franchise, I dislike more the Halloween movies than I enjoy. And I'm not going to waste your time with a recap of the first movie. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't hate it. I kind of hate it, but I hate it because how many people say they love it. And I hate the fact that everybody has to suck this movie's cock when it's not as good as you think it is. And I just hate how many people have to defend this fucking movie all the goddamn time. I hesitate to use the word sheep, but I am convinced that there are people who do not like this movie who are scared to speak up because they're afraid to get bullied by the people who just relentlessly praise this motherfucking piece of shit. And I'm convinced of that because I get a lot of shit for not liking Halloween. But let's talk about Michael Myers. We're not here to talk about the movies. We're here to talk about Michael Myers. As a killer, Michael Myers is not an easy one to analyze because his franchise is very disjointed. And what I mean by that is they keep rebooting the fucking thing. So in some movies, the canon spells out X. In other movies, it's a different canon with a different motivation and a different explanation and whatnot. So Michael Myers is not a singular character. The Michael Myers in Halloween Kills is not the same Michael Myers that's in Halloween 4 or Curse of Michael Myers or Resurrection or the Rob Zombie Michael Myers. They're all different characters. They're all different characters. So when you're talking about Michael Myers, you have to talk about these specific individual ones. So we'll tackle them individually. The first Michael Myers, Halloween 1, backstory. A little boy, for no reason, no explanation given, goes up the stairs, murders his sister, gets locked up in a mental institution. 15 years later, escapes the mental institution, goes back home, and goes on a killing spree. That's how people summarize the movie, but that's not what happens. What really happens is he goes back home and he stalks a babysitter, a random girl, for 60 minutes of the movie. Of a 90-minute movie. 60 minutes into this 90-minute movie, he finally gets bored and decides to kill a girl for whatever reason. No explanation given. Just says, you know what, I need something to do besides staring out the window. So he kills a girl. Decides he has fun and kills another girl and then the girl's boyfriend. Then realizes, oops, I forgot. I'm here to kill the babysitter. Duh. So then he goes across the street to kill the babysitter. No logical reason for why he went into that first house when he was following Laurie the whole time. Anyways, why didn't he just attack Laurie? No reason at all. Movie doesn't make sense. Don't even at me. He finally gets to chasing Laurie. And I'm using chasing here in air quotes. She's running as fast as she can, tripping over her feet, and he's just walking at a leisurely pace. He's like, I'll catch up, lady. Don't worry about it. I'll get you when I get you. Don't worry about it. And then magically he does somehow catch up to her because she's that goddamn clumsy. And then he gets shot out of a window and disappears. So that's the first Michael Myers. So let's analyze him a little bit. The first Michael Myers doesn't make a lick of sense. No reason given why he killed his sister. No reason given why he spends most of the movie stalking one girl and then just decides for no reason at all, other than he must have got bored, to kill the people across the street from her for no reason at all. And still can't finish the job and kill the babysitter he's there to kill. Which, again, we don't even have, within the context of that movie, any fucking reason why he's after Laurie in the first place. He just is, for whatever reason. The possible examples of motivations people give is he's just pure evil. That's what Dr. Loomis says throughout the movie. He's just pure evil. If that's the case, why didn't he kill the guy at the drugstore where he stole the mask? If that's the case, why didn't he kill other people? Why didn't he kill the teacher? Why didn't he kill the little kids? You know, he literally is just after Laurie for no reason. And gets so bored, he just decides, well, I'm not ready to kill Laurie yet because I don't know. So he has to kill the kids across the street because whatever. So then there's Halloween 2 Michael Myers. This is a different Michael Myers than Halloween 1 Michael Myers, even though it is a direct sequel. And I say that because in this movie, his motivation is he has to kill his sister, and we establish Laurie Strode as his sister. His half-sister or something, or maybe it's just blood full sister, I don't remember. Anyways, his sister, her name was changed and his identity was hidden from her even. I don't know, to protect her, I guess. I don't know, they don't really give a reason. So this movie, he's walking around town. This Michael Myers is killing people because he's after Laurie and they're in his way. If we apply that motivation to the first movie, it doesn't. The first movie falls apart because if he's just after Laurie, again, why does he go into that house and kill those kids? They're not in her way at all. In his way at all. They're not stopping him from getting to Laurie. They're just there. They're not even there. Not even in the same house. So there's still no reason for him to kill those kids in the first house. Which is another thing that really irritates me about that first movie. Why did he kill those kids? There's no reason to kill those kids if he's after Laurie. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. And don't tie yourself into not trying to make it make sense. I've heard all the arguments and none of them fit. None of them matter. However, the Halloween 2 Michael Myers is a whole lot more interesting because now he has a reason for being after Laurie. Oh, I didn't finish the job. I killed my sister, but oops, I got another sister. I have to kill her too for some reason. I mean, it's a flimsy motivation, but at least it's more than, I don't know, he's evil, I guess. Halloween 2 is a better movie than the first Halloween. Don't at me. Halloween 2 is a good, interesting horror movie. Halloween 1 is just whatever. He's not in Season of the Witch, so we'll skip over it. He comes back for Halloween 4 and 5 for the the Return of Michael Myers and the Revenge of Michael Myers. Now, Halloween 4 is my favorite of the franchise. Halloween 4 Michael Myers is continuing the story. He now finds out, somehow, I don't know how he finds this out, but somehow he finds out, his sister Laurie, who has died in a car accident since then, had a daughter. And so he's like, oh, I gotta finish the job. So he's out to kill Laurie's daughter for some reason. But this is an actual good movie. This is an actual good slasher movie. So I like Halloween 4. I'll defend Halloween 4. This is the one I like. This is the one I rewatch regularly. To me, this is Halloween. This is the Michael Myers I wanted. This guy is like, I'm gonna kill that bitch at all costs, and fuck you if you get in my way. That's an interesting killer. There we go. We finally have a Michael Myers worth giving a shit about. This Michael Myers continues into Halloween 5, the Revenge of Michael Myers, and again into the Curse of Michael Myers. Now, the Curse of Michael Myers, I will say, even though it's a continuation of the story, this is another different Michael Myers. I say that because 4, 5, and 6 make up what fans refer to as the Thorn trilogy, which I'm not going to dig into here. But Curse of Michael Myers introduces the concept of a cult who is using Michael Myers as a tool for whatever reason. And I'm not going to get into it because I've already talked about that movie when I reviewed it. Go back and rewatch that video. Because even I'll admit it doesn't make a lick of sense. This Michael Myers is, for lack of a better word, possessed. I don't know what he's possessed by. If it's evil or a demon or the devil or something else, I don't know. But he's possessed. He is literally possessed. This version of Michael Myers is not in control of his faculties. He's killing because the force inside him is making him kill. Which is not what we get in Halloween 1, 2, 4, or 5. This is a different Michael Myers. But he's still after Laurie's daughter, which he does eventually kill. But then, oops, she had a baby. So now he has to go after that baby. This is where it gets convoluted because the Thorn cult got her pregnant so that she would have a baby, so that they could turn that baby into the next Michael Myers. But oops, the Shape or whatever it is has already identified this other boy as the next Michael Myers. So now they have to turn Michael Myers loose to either recapture the baby that escaped or kill the baby, even though they want the baby to be possessed to grow up to be an... I don't know. This movie doesn't make sense. But we're here talking about Michael Myers, not the movies. Then you get... Excuse me. Then you get a pair of additional sequels. This is another branch in the timeline. You get H2O and Resurrection. These movies say, you know what? All those other movies never happened. Halloween 1 happened, Halloween 2 happened, and now we're continuing the story, ignoring the rest of them. This Michael Myers is back to, I just want to kill my sister for whatever reason. Except that's not his whole purpose in life. I say that because in H2O, he's killing everybody that gets in his way or that had contact with Laurie. Okay. But then she allegedly kills him. And I say allegedly. And then we find out in Resurrection, oops, she killed the wrong guy. And he goes back and finishes the job. He actually kills Laurie. If his whole motivation was kill Laurie, I'm done, I can retire, why did he keep killing? Well, the best explanation I have is they were filming a reality show in his house. So he's just like, you know what, I'm retired, I'm ready to go home and retire to my bedroom so I can just stare out the window for eternity. And oops, there are assholes in my house, I guess I better kill them. This version of Michael Myers doesn't make as much sense as the previous ones. He doesn't even make as much sense as the Halloween 1 Michael Myers, which makes no sense. So there you go. Even less sense than none. This makes negative sense if you're going to get into math territory. This ends the franchise again. But we get a remake, a reboot, a refresh. Rob Zombie has a pair of Halloween movies. I'm not talking about those movies at all. I'm just going to talk about that Michael Myers. That Michael Myers is a troubled kid who lives in an abusive home who grows up to be a killer because his parents are dicks. So now we have a motivation. He was an abused kid, so now he's like, you know what, fuck it, life sucks. I guess I should kill people because that's more that gets the aggression out or whatever. So this one digs a little more into child psychology, which is a little bit more interesting as a concept. However, those movies suck, so it's like, great, we finally get a good Michael Myers, and we stick him in a shitty, rubbish movie. Slow hand clap, maybe? Raise an eyebrow? I don't know. What the fuck ever. And then the studios and fans and everybody was like, that's not good enough. We need more Michael Myers for some reason. So then we get the trilogy. We get the Blumhouse trilogy. So this is Halloween, which is just all it's called. So it's like a remake-ish, requel-ish of the original Halloween. This one ignores Halloween 2 and everything else and goes back to the drawing board. And we get 3 more movies. We get Halloween, Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends. Again, this is a different Michael Myers than what was in the original Halloween and what was in all the sequels. This is yet again another Michael Myers. This Michael Myers, again, going back to the original, really has no motivation. So we're back to he's pure evil again. Only this one lives up to the pure evil better than the original because he actually just kills people just because they're there. Just because he's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm here to kill, let's kill. They kind of do a little bit of a Freddy Krueger kind of thing where he exists because we're afraid of him, so he gets his power from our fears kind of thing at the end of Halloween Kills, which I think is stupid, but whatever. And that's as far as of today, all the versions and iterations of Michael Myers we have. As a killer, Michael Myers isn't even an efficient killer. He's kind of sloppy. He makes mistakes. A lot. However, that doesn't make him a disinteresting killer. He is somewhat interesting. And I do like some of his movies. Putting aside his motivations and his sloppy kills, Michael Myers, at the very least, has fun killing. This is obvious in the way he displays the bodies, the way he taunts his victims, the way he dresses up like a ghost in the first movie, the way he puts on the mask and pretends to be the babysitter's boyfriend in the fourth movie, and so on and so forth. He has fun killing. It's a hobby to him. And he has fun doing that iconic stab, which I'm going to talk about in a second. Because he does have the iconic move where he picks you up, takes a knife, stabs you to the wall, does the head tilt, and then walks away. He does that in most of the movies. Not in every single one of them, but most of them. It is his iconic kill. I'm not going to talk about the fallacies of the physics of that kill because why bother? It's a horror movie. It's a good kill. Let's not tear it apart. But I am going to talk about the absurdity of the kill. And the reason for that is he seems to be obsessed with it. It's almost like he found a kill he likes and he repeats it over and over again. Which to me tells me he's just having fun. Now, I had one person give me a possible explanation for why Michael is the way he is. This person told me he's just a dog. He kills because he's literally, it's his instinct to kill because he's a hunter. He's a killer. And he has that curiosity. It's curiosity. What happens when you kill someone? Ooh, this person, this happens when they died. This person, this happens when they died. This is interesting. So he's driven by curiosity. I'm not 100% sold on that one, but I'll take it as a possibility, you know, because it makes a whole lot more sense than he's pure evil. Because as a former Christian turned pagan, I don't believe in the concept of pure evil or total depravity as Christianity teaches. Because according to Christianity, babies are pure evil until you baptize them and insert the Holy Spirit into them. So, let's not go down that road. We're not unraveling Christianity today. So yeah, Michael Myers is an interesting killer. As a horror icon, he's definitely iconic for a reason. I'll give him that. So much so that of all the countless Halloween movies that are out there, the worst one that sucks the most is the one he ain't even in. So yeah, I'll give you that much. Michael Myers is an interesting killer. He's somewhat fascinating. So I do enjoy him as a killer. I will watch Halloween movies, love them or hate them. I'll watch them as they come out because, you know, there have been enough enjoyable Halloween movies in the franchise for me to say I'm willing to roll the dice that this one might be good. Although there are enough shitty, rubbish Halloween movies in the franchise to make me pause and go, I don't know, do I really need to watch another one? So there I am. That's where I stand. You know, Michael Myers as a horror icon.